Well, hello and back in the basement. Flying season is, been here for a couple of months, and as you may or may not have noticed, I haven't made any videos lately. Well, kind of a long story, but we've been doing a lot of travel, and up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the weather was around here was pretty awful, and didn't get a lot of flying in. Except, it was awful for RC flying, but it was okay for Civil Air Patrol flying and for a trip in a Club 182 down to Little Rock and back to see some friends and relatives down there. But anyway, I haven't done much lately with RC up until a couple of weeks ago when finally travel stopped. We got caught up on some things around the house and the weather got better. So I thought I would take a few minutes of your time today and mine to show you some issues that I've had with various airplanes and some of the solutions I've found. So this is going to be kind of a potpourri of things that have come up over the last 12 to 18 months, 24 months. So let's start with this lovely Cessna 150. It's the E-Flight, the old nose wheel version. And the nose wheel had been a significant problem in this airplane. It kept breaking, and I couldn't figure out what the root cause was until I took the nose wheel assembly off after a flight where the nose wheel started free castering, and a guy came over and said, "Hey, what keeps happening to this airplane?" And I said, "Well, this little white collar that the push rod fits onto keeps breaking." And he looked at it and said, "Well, no wonder, that's the wrong kind of plastic to make that out of." And I said, "Tell me about it. I've had to buy quite a few parts to try to fix this, and they just keep breaking." And he said, "Well, give me that part and I will take it home and print you up one on my 3D printer out of a different kind of plastic, and I'll make it a little bit more robust, and let's see what happens." Sure enough, I have flown this airplane, I can't tell you how many times this year in the last few weeks, and off of grass, off of pavement, and not had a single problem with that nose wheel. Not one. It's working like a charm. So I'm going to go over behind the camera, hold it up, and show you what he made for me, which is absolutely fantastic. If anybody from Horizon Hobby is looking at this, well, just don't stop cheaping out on parts. Build them robust enough so where there's not a point of failure somewhere. I know you guys are good at this, but this solution is so elegant and so simple. I'm amazed that somebody didn't actually figure this out before we did. Okay, so I'm going to go get behind the camera and show you some things. Okay, so this red collar is what the fellow made for me. And it was not as simple as you might think, because if you look at it, he hadn't had to fabricate it. There is a metal insert inside of here that he took out of the old broken version, heated it up. He drilled a hole in the red part, the collar itself. He heated up that brass insert after making sure that it was a good tight fit, and then pressed it into the collar, and it's obviously threaded on the inside. And then the original screw that holds this in place fitted. And this is a significant improvement. It's made out of a different kind of plastic, and the collar itself is almost twice the thickness of the original thin plastic white piece. Let me tell you, that has fixed the problem. All right, issue 2 and 3. the ESC and the wiring in this 2-meter T28. First of all, the ESC. Last fall, the last flight of the year, and for this airplane, ESC failed, lost all power, including the BEC voltage, lost total control of the airplane, but luckily it wasn't very high. It glided all by itself. Failsafe didn't even work, obviously, because the servos had no power. Went into some tall grass at a fairly steep angle, but it didn't go in the trees, it didn't go in the water, and it broke the nose off right there. You can see the scar. So glued the nose back on, got a new cowling, got a good new nose gear retract. The gear was down. It broke the retract, but it didn't break the strut. And a new prop, and off we went. This is a heavy-duty ESC with a cooling fan, and it's 80 amp, rated up to 8S, with the ability to hook up not one but 2 batteries. There's the other connection. So you can stack 2 batteries in here if you want to. You can put in a couple of 7,000s for 1,400 if you can get the airplane to balance, or 14,000, not 1,400. Get the airplane to balance. Also notice what I did with the straps. I put some Velcro in here so that all 4 straps can be fastened down to the fuselage outside of the battery area, and then you can peel them off and put the battery in. The second thing was the wiring. This airplane has got 8 wing connectors: lights, flaps, ailerons, and gear retraction. And that's a mess of wires. Plus, it has a bunch of wires that go up front and a bunch of wires that go to the back. So I took all those connections, which are not on the wing, and bundled them up with that white strap. The 3 going to the front, let me think, that would be power coming off the ESC, nose wheel steering, and nose wheel retraction and extension. So there's a servo up there that steers the nose wheel, and another servo in the gear retraction mechanism. And the 3 going to the back are lights, elevator, and rudder. But that leaves this other 8. So I bundle all those up into these connectors. 1 for each side. Let's see here, 1 for that side, 1 for that side. So those connectors are color-coded by the straps that keep them bundled, red and yellow. And the wings have straps that also match those, and they are also bundled just like this. So now it's simply a matter of plugging in 3 or 4 rather plugs, 1 for the wing itself, and then down here I did not bundle the lights in with it because these connectors are only good for 3 servos. So if I don't want the lights to be hooked up, I don't have to, but I've got those leads bundled up as well. And that has solved this problem. Cleaning up this wiring was not a big chore. And used a little hot glue to glue the wires down to the fuselage, routed all that stuff through the battery tray and out here to the front of the aircraft, or under the battery tray. That has taken care of that problem. It's cut the time to put this airplane together by about half. Issue number 4 and 5. Well, number 4 and 3A, let's call it. Issue number 4 is the retracts on these wings come with nice little plastic gear doors, 2 of them on each wing. One of them fastens here, and the other one fastens supposedly right there. There's a little tab there where the other gear door mounts. It's the one that covers most of the gear, and this little door down here covers the rest of it. That one. Now, what I found was, taxiing this airplane in anything but dead smooth area, very well low-cut grass or on geotechs results in these gear doors getting caught on stuff as they travel through that grass and things break. The little gear doors that fit here actually broke the this piece here that fits over this cracked, and the other one caught something and tore that tab off. Now, it obviously doesn't look quite as nice with the gear up as you would expect from the factory, but I've just taken the gear doors off and I am not going to put them back on, ever. I just think that's just unacceptable to have something built that weak that you can't even have a clump of grass go by under the airplane without ripping off parts. 3A, this is the wiring bundle for the wing. Notice that I taped all of the connections together so that I can give them a little tug without them coming apart. So there is, that one is the lights, and then the other 3 cables go right here, and they are, as I mentioned, color coded here at the end to match the other connections inside the fuselage. So issue number 5, the super timber landing gear. Now this landing gear is really tough, much more so than the turbo timber. But after a landing, a really hard one that actually caused me to have to re-glue the landing gear plastic mount back into the foam, I discovered that this gear was extremely loose, and I looked at it and found that this entire gear leg was bent. Fixing this is actually very simple. All you got to do is take these 2 screws loose down here, take the spring off, take these 5 screws loose, they're hex screws, and take the screws that hold this onto the mount with the help of some nuts on the back side. Where's that nut? Let's see here. Maybe, there it is right there. So take that off, take the whole gear mechanism out, take the wheel off, get yourself a vise, put it in the vise and play with it until you get it bent back straight. But be very careful, because where these gear legs are fastened, there's a hole drilled through that gear leg, and it'd be very easy to bend that enough to fatigue the metal and break it right there at that weak point. But normally that shouldn't happen as long as the springs stay attached, because there's not really all that much force on this pivot point down here. But they were bent just a little bit there, so I had to straighten that out a bit too. And that seems to have fixed the problem. Well, it has fixed the problem with the gear. It has not fixed the problem with my landings. I'll be perfectly clear about that. Number 6, also the super timber. As you may very well know, if you have one of these wings are held on by pins in the wings that slide into these slots right here and hold the wing on, at least part of it. The main thing that holds the wing on, of course, is the wing spar. Now back here, you'll notice that that landing that I alluded to in number 5 also cracked that side, and on the other side also resulted in that on the front. So what do you do about that? Well, I would suggest you can probably just ignore it, because you've still got one of those brackets, or what do you call it, hold down points, working correctly. You've got the wing spar, and on this side at least you've got that partial hole, and on the other side as well. So I've flown this thing a lot since all this happened, and so far nothing bad has happened, but I just make sure that these wings are on really good and tight. You've also got, of course, the friction fit between the wing and that fairing, so that helps. And number 7 is also going to be concerning landing gear on this airplane. Number 7, the tail wheel. I fly a lot off of grass, and I was coming in one day, made a nice smooth landing, and the tail wheel started free swiveling because the black screw that holds that tail wheel in place had stripped out all by itself. And the solution was simple. I got a slightly larger screw, a little longer, slightly larger diameter, and threaded it through that collar that fits where you fit these springs in, and it's held up really, really well since then. Issue 8, again, the super timber. For some reason, this elevator control stutters. And rudder a little bit as well. I have not figured out what causes that. It moved it really slow. I've checked all the push rods, everything is nice and smooth. The only thing I can think of is that these tiny little servos may not be up to the load. So far, nothing's failed. It sounds like something's binding in the servo or in the linkage. It's not the linkage. Take the linkage loose and everything is smooth as silk. If anybody has an idea of what's causing that or how to fix it, I'd really appreciate knowing. So I'll wind it up here. If any of you who have the nose wheel 150 from E-flite, I happen to have an extra one of these landing gear, nose gear collars, horn collar, whatever you call it, already pre-drilled and ready to insert the plastic insert, threaded plastic insert for the screw, that set screw that holds it on. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you liked it, you can either like or subscribe. Subscriptions do help promote the channel, as do likes. I'm well over 1,300 subscribers now. And for all this work, believe it or not, I'm going to get a check this month from Google. I know, it's hard to believe. A sterling $100 for 4 years of work, $25 a year. But I'm not really in it for the money. I just enjoy doing this. And that's definitely not going to make a difference in my lifestyle. So enjoy your RC flying the rest of the summer. And if anything interesting comes up, I'll be back. And thank you again for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. Goodbye.